Hi, my name is Merena. I hold a PhD in physics and mathematics and am an associate professor at the Department of Medical Informatics, Medical and Biological Physics at Ivano-Frankivsk National Medical University. I am pleased to present to you a lecture on the topic, nanobiotechnologies for sustainable solutions in water purification, environmental protection and agriculture. Lecture goal: to familiarize students with modern achievements in nanobiotechnology and their applications for improving water quality, protecting the environment, enhancing the efficiency of agricultural practices, as well as to consider the ecological and economic benefits of these technologies as tools for sustainable development. The Sustainable Development Goals, also known as the Global Goals, were adopted by the United Nations in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that by 2030 all people enjoy peace and prosperity. A total of 17 Sustainable Development Goals have been formulated. The lecture considers modern achievements in the field of nanobiotechnology in the context of implementing 4 UN Sustainable Development Goals. Among those goals, goal number 6, clean water and sanitation through nanomaterials for water purification. 13, climate action through biosorbents, nanocatalysts for reducing emissions. Goal number 14, life below water through nanobiotechnologies for monitoring and cleaning aquatic resources. Goal number 15, life on land through nanomaterials for soil restoration and biodiversity conservation. The university aims to train a new generation of doctors and healthcare professionals who not only possess modern professional competencies but also understand global challenges of humanity and are ready to actively contribute to solving them through their professional activities. So briefly about the key terms. Nanotechnology is an interdisciplinary field of science and engineering that studies and utilizes the properties and phenomena of matter at the scale of approximately 1 to 100 nanometers. At this scale, materials often exhibit a new mechanisms of interaction, quantum effects, high surface-to-volume ratio, etc., which opens opportunities for creating materials and devices with properties significantly different from their macroscopic counterparts. Biotechnology is an interdisciplinary field of science and technology that combines knowledge from biology, chemistry, physics, engineering, and informatics to use living systems, bacteria, yeast, enzymes, cells, etc., for creating products and technologies that improve human quality of life. Thus, it's any use of living systems and organisms for developing products and technologies in medicine, agriculture, food, chemical, and environmental industries. Progress in biotechnology has the potential to solve global human challenges, food, energy, and resource shortages, improving healthcare, protecting the environment, addressing ecological problems, supporting the economy and sustainable development. Modern biotechnology allows the combination of living systems with nanomaterials, creating a nanobiotechnology, an instrument for medicine, ecology, and sustainable development. Nanobiotechnology is a scientific field at the intersection of biology and nanotechnology, encompassing a wide range of technological approaches, including the use of nanotechnological devices and nanomaterials in biotechnology, the use of biological molecules for nanotechnological purposes, the creation of biotechnological products whose properties are defined by dimensional characteristics, for objects in the 100 nanometer range, the biotechnological approaches based on the principle of controlled self-assembly of nanostructures. The integration of nanotechnology with biological systems opens new opportunities in medicine, ecology, and industry. This combination enables the creation of green nanotechnology, where microorganisms and enzymes synthesize nanomaterials more safely and effectively. The goal of such a synergy is to enhance the efficiency of traditional methods and overcome their limitations: low selectivity, toxicity of chemical reagents, etc. Nanoparticles as catalysts and carriers are used to accelerate biochemical reactions and deliver active substances, drugs for example, in a targeted manner. Biological factories of nanomaterials, bacteria, fungi, plants generate nanoparticles, metals, oxides, during fermentation or photosynthesis, creating environmentally friendly materials. Such approaches make medical, industrial, and agricultural technologies more efficient and safer, for example, reducing the need for toxic chemicals. One of the most important areas of nanobiotechnology application is water purification. The combination of nanomaterials and biological systems enables the effective removal of pollutants, disinfection of pathogens, and restoration of water quality. Nanobiotechnologies in this field are used through the creation of new materials and processes capable of more effectively eliminating harmful impurities. Among such approaches are nanosorbents, nanoparticles, for example, carbon nanotubes that absorb toxic substances, nanofiltration membranes for separating impurities and salts, antibacterial nanomaterials, silver, copper for disinfection and pathogen elimination, photocatalysts for breaking down organic pollutants and heavy metal ions, nanobiosensors for real-time water quality monitoring. Thanks to this, nanobiotechnologies increase the efficiency of traditional purification methods: filtration, absorption, disinfection, making process more precise, faster, and more effective. Nanosorbents are nanomaterials with a large specific surface area that possess high absorption capacity. They can effectively capture and retain various substances, pollutants, heavy metals, dyes, from liquid and gaseous media. They often have unique physicochemical properties. In particular, they can be magnetic, ferrites, which allows easy separation from the medium under the influence of a magnetic field and reuse. Key properties of nanosorbents: high absorption capacity due to the large surface area of nanoparticles, ability to selectively absorb certain ions or organic compounds, magnetism, in the case of magnetic nanosorbents, which enable simple and efficient separation of the sorbent from water. Dependence of the absorption process on environmental parameters, including pH, temperature, and pollutant concentration. It should be noted that nanosorbents are applied in all the areas discussed in this lecture. These include water purification, effective removal of heavy metals, organic dyes, and toxic substances from drinking and industrial water, environmental protection, cleaning contaminated water bodies and soils, disinfecting water from bacteria, viruses, and toxins, agriculture, improving soil quality, increasing fertility, introducing mineral additive sorbents to retain nutrients and protect plants. Nanosorbents are classified by origin, chemical composition, and physicochemical properties. Main types of nanosorbents. Mineral nanosorbents include various clay-based materials used for water purification, disinfection, and binding heavy metal salts and radionuclides. Magnetic nanosorbents based on ferrites with magnetic properties that allow easy removal from the medium with magnets, applied for absorption of heavy metals, zinc, lead, etc., organic dyes, and toxic substances. Organic nanosorbents, based on modified biopolymers used in water purification and medical applications for detoxification. Synthetic polymer nanosorbents, applied for selective removal of ions or organic compounds from solutions. Let's consider some examples of nanosorbents. Magnetic nanosorbents work on the principle of absorbing pollutants onto the surface of nanoparticles, followed by easy separation of the sorbent together with captured substances using a magnetic field. Magnetic nanorobots, less than 200 nanometers, can collect nanoplastics in water, adhere to pollutants, and be removed with a magnet for purification. They stick to contaminants and are then extracted with a magnetic field. This approach shows high efficiency in water purification, significantly improving traditional filtration methods. Also popular are ferrites with hydroxyapatite additives, which demonstrate high sorption capacity for heavy metals and can be quickly removed from water with a magnet, making them practical for real-world water treatment applications. Carbon nanotubes exhibit exceptional absorption properties for removing organic pollutants and heavy metal from water. They high specific surface area up to 1,500 square meters per gram and functionalization capability make them ideal sorbents. Absorption occurs on both the external and internal surfaces of nanotubes. Due to this structure, they can effectively capture different molecules or ions, making them promising for applications in water purification, environmental protection, and other technological processes. Nanofiltration membranes are high-tech membranes used for filtering water and other solutions at the molecular level. They have pores ranging from 1 to 10 nanometers, which enables the removal of small particles, organic compounds, salts, and other dissolved impurities from water while retaining useful minerals. Nanofiltration is a membrane filtration process that uses nanometer-sized pores to separate substances. Nanofiltration membranes incorporate various nanomaterials, including nanotubes, graphene, metal nanoparticles, and metal oxides. These materials improve the selectivity, efficiency, and service life of membranes. Metal nanoparticles, silver, iron, titanium, can be used for absorption of heavy metals and other pollutants, as well as for catalytic degradation of organic contaminants. Silver nanoparticles are among the most effective antimicrobial agents for water disinfection. Silver in nanoform demonstrates significantly higher bacterial activity compared to the ionic form due to its larger surface area and better penetrations through cell membranes. It's capable of destroying up to 95% of the pathogens, bacteria, viruses, and fungi, as well as preventing algae growth. Nanosilver is an alternative to chlorine and is safe for use, including for children. The most studied photocatalyst for water purification is titanium dioxide. When irradiated with UV light, titanium dioxide generates reactive oxygen species that break down organic pollutants. Hybrid titanium dioxide carbon nanotubes systems provide effective capture and destruction of pathogens, photocatalytic degradation of organic compounds, thermal pasteurization through solar light absorption. Zinc oxide exhibits photocatalytic activity in visible light due to its reduced band gap at the nanoscale. Zinc oxide nanocomposites with cobalt iron oxides demonstrate complete removal of nephthol group B within 10 minutes under solar irradiation. For real-time water quality monitoring, highly sensitive devices called nanobiosensors are used. They employ nanomaterials and biological elements for rapid detection of pollutants, toxins, and pathogens, providing accurate analysis and timely control of water safety. Graphene biosensors use conductive graphene as a base for detecting heavy metals. Enzyme-based biosensors, modified with gold nanoparticles, allow detection of toxins, pesticides, bacteria in water. Carbon nanotubes, functionalized with biomolecules, capable of detecting organic pollutants, such as phenols or petroleum products. Magnetic nanoparticles, functionalized for selective binding of microorganisms or toxic compounds, due to their sensitivity to magnetic fields. These sensors can be used for detecting and monitoring pollutants, as well as analyzing soil and water properties. Advantages of nanobiotechnologies in water purification. High filtration efficiency. Nanofilters remove even the smallest pollutants, including bacteria, viruses, heavy metals, and organic substances. Strong antimicrobial properties. Silver nanoparticles and other nanomaterials that disinfect water by killing microorganisms. Large specific surface area of nanomaterials increases their sorption capacity, making purification more effective. Selective absorption. The ability to capture harmful substances while leaving beneficial ones. Simplicity and speed of purification. Magnetic nanomaterials allow easy removal of sorbents from water with a magnet. Cost reduction and improved environmental friendliness of water purification process. Self-cleaning and reusable systems thanks to nanocoatings and nanomaterials. Application in combating emerging pollutants, such as pharmaceuticals and microplastics. Nanobiotechnologies open new opportunities for solving environmental problems through the use of nanomaterials and biological systems. They are aimed at preventing pollution, monitoring environmental conditions, restoring natural ecosystems, and developing technologies that reduce the negative impact of industry and agriculture. Such approaches enhance the effectiveness of environmental protection measures and contribute to the preservation of ecological balance. Through the use of nanoparticles, nanosensors, nanocomposites, and biosystems, nanobiotechnologies enable effective detoxification, purification, and monitoring of pollutants with less impact on ecosystems. However, it should be noted that the growth of nanomaterial production and their use in consumer and industrial products leads to increasing adverse effects on humans and the environment. In environmental protection, nanobiotechnologies are applied for water and wastewater purification. Environmental monitoring. Nanosensors and biosensors provide highly sensitive and selective detection of pollutants in air, water, and soil in real time. Bioutilization of nanomaterials, microorganisms and plants can degrade or accumulate nanoparticles and toxic substances, helping reduce pollution. Green nanotechnologies, development of environmentally safe nanomaterials and processes that reduce harmful environmental impacts and minimize waste generation. Soil restoration. Nanomaterials are used to improve fertility, reduce toxicity, stimulate plant growth, and absorb hazardous substances. Environmental monitoring with nanosensors and biosensors is based on the use of nanotechnologies for highly sensitive, selective detection of various pollutants and environmental parameters in real life. These sensors operate on the nanometer scale and can detect physical, chemical, and biological changes at the molecular level, making them extremely precise and effective for monitoring air, water, soil quality, as well as food safety. Key features and advantages of nanosensors and biosensors in environmental monitoring. High sensitivity and selectivity enable detection of pollutants at ultra-low concentrations. Real-time operation and integration into wireless networks for remote monitoring. Compactness and miniaturization of sensors due to nanoscale size. Thanks to biological elements, biosensors can recognize specific types of biological or chemical pollutants. Bioutilization of nanomaterials is the process of degradation, transformation, or accumulation of nanoparticles by living organisms, particularly microorganisms and plants, aimed to reducing their toxicity and environmental impact. This concept is linked with biocompatibility and biodegradation of nanomaterials, which is critically important for their safe application, especially in medicine and the environment. Bioutilization is an effective method for cleaning the environment from nanocontaminants and nano-waste, contributing to deactivation of toxic nanoparticles and protecting living organisms. Main features of nanomaterial bioutilization. Use of natural or induced by bioactive systems for metabolic degradation or accumulation of nanoparticles. Reduction of negative impacts of nanomaterials on ecosystems through biological degradation or stabilization. Includes process of bioaccumulation, biodegradation, and transformation of toxic nanomaterials into less harmful forms. Applied for purification of water, soil, and air from nanocontaminants, including metallic nanoparticles, nanotubes, fullerenes. Importance of bioutilization. Bioutilization is a key aspect of environmental safety and sustainable development of nanotechnologies. As nanomaterials find increasing applications across different industries, from cosmetics to electronics and agriculture, the risk of their release into the environment grows. Non-biodegradable nanomaterials may accumulate in soil, water, and living organisms, potentially causing health risks. For example, carbon nanotubes, which are widely used, can trigger inflammatory process in the lungs of laboratory animals if they are not biodegradable. Therefore, the development of biodegradable nanomaterials is a priority direction in a more modern nanobiotechnology. Green nanotechnologies refer to the development and application of environmentally safe nanomaterials that have minimal impact on the environment and human health and provide use of non-toxic and biodegradable substances for nanoparticle synthesis, for example, through plant extracts and natural antioxidants. Minimization of harmful waste generation and reduction of energy consumption in production process. Increased efficiency and selectivity of nanomaterials by controlling size, morphology, and chemical composition. Absence or reduction of toxicity or in final products and process, which helps avoid secondary environmental pollution. Possibility of regeneration and recycling of nanomaterials after their use. Main directions of green nanotechnologies. Production of nanomaterials by green methods such as synthesis of metal nanoparticles using plants, bacteria, and fungi, which reduces toxicity and environmental load. Use of nanotechnologies for environmental purification. Nanomaterials are applied for cleaning water, soil, and air from toxic substances and pollutants. Improving energy efficiency and implementing renewable energy sources. For example, nanocoatings for solar panels increase their efficiency and self-cleaning properties. Development of nanoscale catalysts and membranes to reduce waste and toxic emissions at industrial facilities. Green nanotechnologies contribute to sustainable development, conservation of natural resources, and reduction of the ecological footprint of human activities. A vivid example of green nanotechnologies in the context of their potential for sustainable energy storage with minimal environmental impact are devices known as supercapacitors. They are more environmentally friendly compared to traditional batteries because they do not contain toxic substances usually present in lithium-ion batteries, have high durability and reusability, which reduces waste, can charge and discharge rapidly, increasing energy efficiency, especially in renewable energy systems, can be manufactured using eco-friendly materials. Agriculture is one of the most important sectors of the economy, providing humanity with food and raw materials. However, the challenges it faces are becoming increasingly complex due to population growth, soil fertility decline, environmental pollution, and climate change. In this context, the development and application of nanotechnologies in agriculture acquires special importance. Nanobiotechnologies in agriculture are applied to increase production efficiency, ensure sustainable development of the agricultural sector, and improve crop quality. Nanoparticles have unique properties: large specific surface area, modified structure, catalysis, specific absorption, etc., compared to macro versions of materials. Thanks to this, at the nanoscale, it's possible to create targeted delivery systems for substances, fertilizers, pesticides, new highly sensitivity sensors and detectors, biorecognition structures, and more. One of the key aspects of applying nanotechnology in agriculture is the development of nanofertilizers. These new forms of fertilizers have the potential not only to increase crop yields, but also to reduce the negative impact on the environment. Nanofertilizers are special forms of fertilizers with nanometer scale dimensions and unique physical and chemical properties. They are created using nanotechnology and can be designed for controlled delivery and release of nutrients to plants. Nanofertilizers provide gradual and controlled release of nutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, microelements, which improves plant nutrition efficiency, increases yields, and reduces losses and environmental pollution. Nanofertilizers offer higher nutrient bioavailability. For example, in one experiment, after using nanophosphates and other innovative smart fertilizers, the efficiency of NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium absorption increased. They can be coated with polymers, biopolymers such as chitosan or cavities, nanocapsules, which release nitrogen, phosphorus, or potassium only under specific conditions, pH, temperature, for example. This reduces fertilizer loss, leaching, volatilization, and preserves soil fertility. Nanopesticides are pesticides in which the active ingredient or auxiliary components are applied to nanostructures. For example, active insecticides or fungicides can be encapsulated in polymer nanocapsules or delivered in the form of nanosuspensions. This provides slower and targeted release of active ingredients. Polymer nanoparticles and nanocapsules improve the solubility of poorly soluble active substances, protect them from degradation by sunlight and rain, and ensure gradual release into soil or onto leaves. As a result, reduced dosage, Nanopesticides often require less active substance because improved delivery and persistence on the target surface prolong their action. Environmental benefits. Gradual release reduces rapid volatilization and leaching into water, thus lowering environmental pollution. Nanotechnology is actively used to create controlled release systems for fertilizers and pesticides. These are smart carriers, nanocapsules, nanofibers, nanoemulsions, etc. that slowly and precisely release active substances only when needed or under specific stimulates. Warming, pH change, light. Such systems prolong the effect. Active ingredients are delivered into the soil or canopy more gradually, increasing their duration and bioavailability. They support targeted application and can respond to environmental conditions, opening at specific humidity or temperature. By using biodegradable polymers and plant-based materials, bioplastics, lignin, hydroxyapatite, such systems leave fewer toxic residues. Example: encapsulation of the herbicide atrazine in polymer nanoparticles demonstrated that the application rate can be reduced since the release dose is better absorbed. Nanotechnology has enabled the creation of smart sensors for agriculture that detect chemical and physical environmental parameters. Nanosensors are microscopic devices, often with bioreagents that respond to the presence of moisture, nutrients, pests, diseases, and transmit a signal, electrical or optical, in real time. Advantages of nanosensors. Unlike bulky laboratory methods, chromatography, mass spectrometry, nanosensors are small, portable, and provide instant analysis directly into the field. They are highly sensitive and precise, allowing farmers to apply resources more accurately. For example, irrigation or fertilization at the right place and time, reducing costs and environmental impact. Measurement capabilities. Nanosensors can track nitrate levels, soil moisture, early signs of stress via plant ROC or gas emissions, concentration of pathogens, bacteria, or herbicides. Practical benefits. Smart nanosensors help avoid excessive application of agrochemicals and water. They show farmers the real needs of plants, enabling timely response. This increases yields and reduces resource loss. Nanoparticles are also used in seed treatment. They are applied to the seed surface or added to soil during sowing to stimulate growth. This improves water and nutrient uptake and stimulates enzymatic reactions that accelerate germination. Nanoparticles form nanopores in the seed coat and induce amylase activity, helping seeds absorb water better and germinate faster. Since nanoparticles create micro-simultaneous stress conditions, mild oxidative stress, plants activate antioxidant defense mechanisms. This makes seedlings more resistant to drought, soil salinity, and diseases. According to reviews, nanoparticle seed treatment improves seedling development, stress tolerance, and overall yield. For example, treating rice seeds with selenium nanoparticles enhanced salt tolerance, while treatment of cereals with zinc oxide nanoparticles improved germination. Soil remediation with nanomaterials is one of the most promising directions of agro-nanotechnology. Nanoparticles of clay, zeolite, metal oxides, and biopolymers can improve soil structure, reduce compaction, and promote better aeration. They act as sorbents of toxic substances, heavy metals or pesticides, reducing their bioavailability to plants and microorganisms. Nanomaterials also help retain moisture and nutrients in the root zone, which is especially important under dry conditions. Some can buffer acidity by neutralizing excess H+ ions in soil, creating a more favorable environment for plant growth and beneficial microbial activity. Let's consider a range of materials used for soil remediation. These include nanozeolites, iron oxide nanoparticles, titanium dioxide nanoparticles, nanohydroapatites, nanobiopolymers, and nanocarbon materials. This slide also presents the mechanism of action of these nanomaterials and their effectiveness. The use of nanoparticles in living systems comes with a number of risks and challenges. Once in soil and plants, nanoparticles can accumulate in tissues and be transferred further along the food chain to animals or humans. Scientists warn about the uncertainty of such process. Their bioavailability and long-term effects may differ from conventional chemicals. High concentrations of certain nanoparticles can negatively affect plants or beneficial soil bacteria. Detailed biocompatibility studies are needed to avoid damage in soil ecosystems. The long-term impact of nanoparticles in food on human health remains unknown. Ethical concerns arise. Is it safe to constantly consume products grown with nanoagrochemicals? The need for careful risk assessment of nano-containing products raises concerns among consumers. Currently, legislation regarding nanoagrochemical products is developing slowly. For example, the EU and some countries are creating guidelines and safety assessments for nanomaterials in the food chain. But disagreements remain about how to classify and test each nanoparticle type. The lack of clear standards and policies hinders widespread adoption of nanobiotechnology. Nanobiotechnology in agriculture has great development potential. Smart farming, integration of nanosensors with drones robots for automated field condition analysis is expected. For instance, wireless nanosensor networks could transmit real-time data on soil moisture or nitrogen levels, while AI calculates optimal application. Multifunctional nanomaterials are being developed that can perform multiple roles. For example, selective nanoscale semiconductors for photocatalysis of pesticides under UV light, or nanoparticles carrying enzymes to degrade herbicides after their function is complete. Nanocontainers responsive to external stimulus, temperature, pH, light, are also used for intelligent substance release. Using living organisms to produce nanostructures, biosynthesis of nanoparticles by fungi, bacteria, plants reduces the ecological footprint of technology. The integration of nanotechnology with GMOs, gene or RNA delivery using nanoparticles for crop resistance editing, opens new horizons. Considering climate change, future agro-nanotechnologies will aim to soil moisture retention, super-absorbent nanogels, increasing crop tolerance to extreme conditions and reducing greenhouse gas emissions through fertilizer efficiency. What can we have in conclusions? Nanobiotechnology is a powerful interdisciplinary tool that combines achievements of physics, chemistry, biology, engineering, and ecology to develop effective and sustainable solutions. It enables the creation of smart sensors, nanomaterials for water purification, nanofertilizers, and new methods for environmental remediation and restoration. The application of nanobiotechnology opens wide opportunities for innovations and startups, as it allows rapid and precise detection of pollutants, enhances agricultural practices, reduces the environmental footprint of industry, and supports ecosystem recovery. These technologies play a key role in transitioning to waste-free and environmentally safe process, which form the basis of sustainable development and environmental protection. The combination of different scientific disciplines in nanobiotechnology ensures a comprehensive approach to solving environmental problems, increases adaptability and functionality of new technologies, and makes them more flexible and oriented toward the practical needs of society. Thus, nanobiotechnology is an important innovation platform for a sustainable future, where environmental safety, efficient use of natural resources, and technological progress go hand in hand. Thank you for your attention.